Straight?
Yeah.
You all know this of course you all know Carnival weekend, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of lust in the atmosphere, a whole lot of, anything goes in the atmosphere. The whole vibe. Was the spirit? Was the vibe like down there now? Spirit like down there?
It's like a partying, sir. Partying. Getting high. Usual stuff.
Everybody just going for whatever they had to go for.
So like it's spiritual revelry.
Real revelry. Wantonness mean like, just don't care. Because everybody in that heightened sense of emotion of right? Because the carnival is something that feeds heavily into your lust. You understand? It feeds heavily into the lust, and it plays a whole lot on your lust, whatever it is. It pushes you towards that heavily. All right. So we're gonna go. It's gonna be a little bit more brief. We're gonna go more into a little bit of the history of it. And
so like, give me 1 second. Give me one.
what's going on? Something wrong with it?
Yeah, a little audio.
Nice to you're sounding straight. Or you're not hearing me well?
No, we get it to the TV. We can just get into the laptop light. It's not the volume low.
Okay. You need to plug it up to the TV?
Yeah, I'm going to try and configure it real quick. Check the back.
Isn't that the same thing y'all do every week?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get that straight quickly, all right? I'm going to send somebody an article. Okay, straight. So, Carnival, we're going to do a little bit of the Carnival, and also right after Carnival is what? What's going on Wednesday or Tuesday night?
Soccer right after Carnival is Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday, right? What's Ash Wednesday? What's it dealing with?
So the Christians and them believe that they would absolve themselves of the sins if they put ashes on the forehead.
Ashes on the forehead. That, of course, everything they did for the past 2 months, Carnival season is 2 months after Christmas? Right, 2 months after Christmas, from Boxing Night all the way to Carnival Tuesdays are usually about 2 months, sometimes 3 months. And within that season, the lust is just increases, and it explodes into Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Carnival Monday and Tuesday is the height of that, that climax, or that, that grand finale of really, self-awakening. You understand? Christians, of course, feel guilty. Why do Christians feel guilty?
Because they're running in the church to ask for forgiveness on Ash Wednesday.
That's what they're doing, or that's what they're pretending to do. But what Bayat say was right. Now they put any ashes on their forehead because they feel guilty for what they did. Why do they feel guilty?
So like sir.
Go ahead.
Because they believe they have done something that they would not have done any other time in the year. And it would be against the church custom that they would usually do.
That's true, but he ain't saying it. He's saying it clear enough. So what?
Because all what they partake in, more or less the fornication, adultery. So all that they did, they more or less seeking forgiveness from.
Okay, but why are they seeking forgiveness?
Because of all these sins that they committed, quote unquote, that they call that they did.
Okay, I'll take that. Anybody else?
So
Go ahead.
because they know they have sinned.
You answer it now. Ash Wednesday is the proof that Carnival is evil, at least in a Christian's mind. Like okay, for everybody who wants to defend Carnival, right? You grow up with Carnival, that weak culture, that's what they say, that weak culture, that's weak thing. Hate against weak thing, that's weak culture. Then why do you go to church on Ash Wednesday? What's the purpose of going and getting ashes on Ash Wednesday if Carnival is your culture? So the Chinese go and you know, offer arms and pray for forgiveness for Buddha for, you know, celebrating, you know, dragon or 10% double 10 for the Chinese New Year. Does the white man go to the church on July 5th because of his celebration of Independence Day on July 4th? You understand? Does the Arab go and ask for forgiveness after Eid? Like, that's part of their culture. They, in their own conviction, is doing nothing wrong. Yet still, Christians partake in Carnival, take on that Carnival spirit, which is in essence worshiping another god. It's a festival worshiping a few gods actually, and we're going to go into it, and then go ask for forgiveness on Wednesday. You understand? The modern form of it. The modern form of it is that's where the Ash Wednesday comes in. The Ash Wednesday comes in through the Catholicism and the Christianity of going to now repent for your past couple months of just being over the top in your lust. Right? Over the top in your lust, because as the brother said, during this time, it's a lot of adultery, a lot of fornication, a lot of whoring, a lot of homosexuality, a ton of homosexuality. Right? No, so after that, they had to go now and try to make themselves clean. All right, so let's back it up some. Carnival. Give me something. Let me hear where you all at with it now. History of it, what it's about, whatever you know. So we start sewing it together and you'll realize that what we've been taught or what we've been given to accept as this event or this part of culture is not part of culture. It's not the event. You get me?
All
right, come on with it quickly.
So like I said, for me, right? It is broadcasted all over the world that Carnival is a time that you have 2 days or the 2 months leading up to the time, for 2 days that you have a free pass to whatever you feel like.
That's it in a nutshell. Anybody else?
Well, so like I said, the origin of Carnival was a time when the slaves, after slavery was abolished, slaves had mixed up their own festival. We just call Candle. It was lighting the still like the sugar canes in the night. They used to walk in a procession, beat drums, dance, and sing.
Right.
They also mix that up with the white people's festival, the masquerade, I mean, it's called.
Right.
They used to put the mask on the face, and the slave master used to have a little party.
Right.
And then they used to invite the slaves. So because of that, the slaves just mixed up the two together, and they used to mock the slave masters after slavery was abolished. We call it Carnival. But going deep into the history, it comes from a pagan festival from the Roman Catholic Church.
That's it. That's where you want to get to. Okay, they teach you. I mean, even growing up, that's what damn near everybody learns, is that the slaves invented Carnival, or the modern form of it to mock the slave master, because the slave master used to have a masquerade ball. You know what a masquerade ball is like, right? People dressing up in the Sunday best with a mask over the face. Right? Or something that's blocking their eyes. All right, and for that night or that couple of nights, they get to do whatever they want. They get to swing, change partners, drink, whatever they want to do. All right. And we are taught that, of course, the slaves now formed their own version of it. And that's where you get the so-called Juve festival from, right? You know the Juve, right? Also known as the mud mask. Right? Also known as the mud mask. That came out of that slavery, that slave culture, it's an effort to mock and assimilate at the same time. Damn near like how you have Greek fraternities, the black Greeks. You know, black fraternities that mock white tradition, even something like that. All right. But as the officer was saying, the history of it goes way back to the 6th century. Right? The whole history of Carnival, right? That time of revelry, that time of debauchery, bacchanal, you hear that term. That's not me a Trinidadian word alone. I never hear that word nowhere else. All the bacchanal. Bacchanal, anybody knows the word bacchanal comes from?
So like yes, sir.
Come on, Baya.
Festival called Bacchanalia.
All right. Go ahead. Anything else, Shah? You had your hand up too?
Yeah. So like yes, I think when you look up the word bacchanal and bacchanales, it mean drunk woman and drunk man.
That's okay. That's the culture and the spirit of it.
Yeah.
But it comes from the festival or the worship of the god Bacchus. Look up Bacchus. You understand? Look up the word Bacchus, B-A-C-H-U-S. Right? Look up the god Bacchus.
Go
ahead, who have it?
So your cousin.
Go ahead, quickly.
Bacchus was the Roman god of agriculture and wine and fertility. Equivalent.
Bacchus was the Roman god of what?
Agriculture, wine, and fertility.
All right, go ahead.
Equivalent to the Greek god Dionysus.
Say one more time. Read a little more clearly and strongly.
Equivalent to the Greek god Dionysus. Dionysus.
Okay.
Dionysus was said to be the last god to join the 12 Olympians.
All right. Anyone on Bacchus?
Supposedly, Hestia gave up her seat for him. His plants were vines and twirling ivy. He carried pine cone top staff, and his followers were goat-footed statues and maidens, wild women who danced energetically during his festivals.
All right. So his followers were goat-footed what?
Women.
Goat-footed women and wild women.
Wild women.
Right? Wild, like W-I-L-D.
All
right? Wild women who danced energetically through his what?
During his festivals.
During his festival. Now if that is not describing tomorrow and Tuesday, I don't know what the hell is. Except for the goat foot. You know, the goat foot, that comes into the folklore, the legend. What's the name of the woman? I always get them. The only one I remember is I.S.U.P.K.
Go
ahead.
That is the Papa Bois.
Papa Bois is one too. Papa Bois is the Trinidadian version of Pan. Of the Greek god Pan. That's who Papa Bois is in Trinidad. Go ahead.
La Jablesse.
The larger blessed. That's the one who would come and knock on your door any night, and you would let her in, and when you try to take her clothes off, you realize she's half horse, half woman, or half cow, or whatever. Right? If I'm not mistaken. I have it wrong? Let me know. Come on, Aki. What's going on? I have it wrong, or that's correct?
No, you have it correct, sir. That's correct, sir.
All right, no sweat. Okay, so now Bacchus, he is the god of. He is the god of, what did they say? Wine, agriculture, and fertility. Right? From what we went through recently, since the start of the year, around this time is known for what? Fertility celebrations. That's what Valentine's Day was about. And Bacchus being the god of agriculture, what's important to somebody who is a agricultural, who's into agriculture?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
But it's around the season of springtime.
It's around spring, so why is it important?
Well, fertility.
If you're a farmer, if you're into agriculture, why is this season important to you?
So, yes, sir.
Come on.
Because this would be the best time for the farmer to plant the crops.
Spring, okay.
Oh,
spring. The terms might confuse you because of the seasons here versus Trinidad.
Right.
Take reaping time.
Okay.
You get me? So you're not planting in the spring, but what are you doing?
So like I said, reaping.
Because the spring is when everything growing and blooming.
Right.
So that spring period. Remember, springtime is anywhere from like the end of March till the end of May, early June. So that's your crop starting to grow, and you want to now make sure you have a good crop this year. And being heathens pray to what? What do heathens pray to?
Like it's idols.
Idols, things that give them carnal or sensual satisfaction. You understand? So if you need water, you're gonna pray to the clouds or to the river god. You get me? You need sunlight for your crops. Now you pray into Bacchus or Zeus. You get me? Or Nimrod, which is it's worship of the sun, because the sun is gonna help your crops grow. You get me? And wine, because he is into revelry. A ton of revelry, wild woman dancing energetically. I ain't got to describe it to you, brother. I ain't got to even. You pull up any carnival video, it's wild women dancing energetically. And why is it wild? How could you describe them as wild? Even if they're tripping down the road. Even if they ain't twerking and gallivanting and gyrating, they could just be tripping down the road. Why are they still wild?
Because the mentality is that I'm free to do what I want without consequence.
That's it. That's the mentality. The mentality is, I'm going to get half naked. I'm going to abuse myself for 2 days. For 2 days, how much people lose their voice, get sick, your body shut down after Carnival because you go in since last Thursday or last Wednesday. It's a whole week now, right? Marshall Monday kick it off. Now, before it used to be Thursday night, Friday some party, then Saturday something, then Sunday something else, straight into Tuesday, then Monday, then Tuesday. Wednesday you're going to the church, and then you're going up on the beach. And then nobody ain't seeing you till the following week because you had to recover. But this festival we have that we embrace and hold so dearly, called Carnival, is a heathen culture, is a heathen custom that is the worship of another god and it's rooted in exercising your lust. You understand? No. Does that mean going to a party is evil? Does that mean you go in a session and some smallie there and you want to press up on the smallie? Is that evil? That's not evil. That's recreation, right? Every culture has that part of it. The part where it crosses the line into the idol worship and the carnival is it's really a religious ceremony. It's really a religious ceremony. You get the point? Once you get into that, now we're talking about something else. And now we're talking about something else. So let's get a little brief history on it. It goes all the way back to like the 5th and the 6th century. All right. The white man again, the Romans, the Greeks, or the Romans descendant from the Greeks, they would have these balls or masquerade balls or times of honoring Bacchus in revelry. Right? You all know Rome was famous for revelry, a ton of revelry. Somebody also holding the Apocrypha for me, I believe it's Ecclesiasticus. Look up Ecclesiasticus, where they talk about let us go now and pick every flower. The Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2.
Oh, come on there.
Right? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Hold that for me, all right?
Come on there.
Rock with me for a second. Let me just get this out. So we ain't gonna get this time again until a whole year pass. All right. So since the 5th and 6th century, they doing this type of culture in honor of gods like Bacchus, gods like Nimrod, the Lupercalia. Lupercalia is carnival. It's the woman in the streets wanting to be whipped by somebody with the bloody thong from the killing the dog or killing the goats or whatever, and hoping and praying that if this person touched me with this, I will conceive and make a child. Get me? No, because of advancement and access to information, the myth has died. And what is the myth? That this blood is going to make you more fertile. The myth is that, if you get, the redder you are with blood, if you get, have sex that night, you're going to conceive. The myth has died because of, access to information. You get, because back then a ton of, it's first off, it's a pagan ritual, it's a pagan custom. In the Roman Catholic, in the Roman conquest of the world, they tried to marry quote unquote Christianity with pagan customs. They would let the pagans keep some of the custom. Pagan mean common. Common people mean it's everywhere. This is just low class, low down, common. It's not any established form of culture or anything that has power to run the world, but they say low, it's common. So they would let the pagan keep their culture, certain aspects of their culture, where they could marry that into quote-unquote Christianity. You get me? And that process is where you have your Easter, Christmas comes out of that, Carnival, of course. There's a few others. You get the point that absolutely has no aspect that has nothing to do with the Bible or Christianity, but this is how you in conquest, you're able to conquer a place easier than if you were to come in there and take it. What the white man does in the Middle East. The white man goes in the Middle East and says, what? I'm going to bring democracy. So you know what? We're going to do away with beheadings. We're going to do away with dismemberment when they cut your hands off. We're going to allow the woman to drive and appear in public without a male escort. We'll even let some women remove the burqa or the hijab. Why? Because the white man wants to gain favor of the common people. So now he will bring his democracy, which is Christianity, and marry it to the remnant of Islam. You get me? And now you have this new breed of Islam, which really is Christianity. And from that is where you get your extremists like your Taliban and your ISIS. And you know, those people who are zealous for their culture and don't want to assimilate into the white man's culture. You get me? It's Rome. So now that's how you have these fertility festivals that happen. All right. So the Romans, the Italians did it a ton, and it was full of drunkenness, debauchery, women, men if you're homosexual, a ton of extreme activity that feeds your lust. Whatever you lust into, whatever you lusting over, around that time you can do it. You could do it until you're satisfied, and there will be no problems. Right? There will be no problems. Right now in Trinidad, since Boxing Day, you have people who force their relationship to end. Right? Pick a fight, pick an argument, whatever. You break up until when?
Like I said.
Go ahead.
After Carnival.
Until Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday, you laying on the beach. Your stomach drawing because you're done dehydrated. Your back weak because you done had sex with anything moving. And you laying down there on Maracas Bay with your unclean bacon shark and a Carib in one hand. And you pick up your phone and say, I miss you. Send. Relationship start back again because both of y'all take a break so you could go haul for 2 months. Right. You could go have all the sex you want for 2 months and then you'll just come back and you do the same thing again. You get me? This was the common practice all the way through with the European nations. A few of them have that as part of the culture, and is not just the Romans and the Greeks. Okay, so now fast forwarding up into the time of slavery, you had the empires that, besides the British, you had the Dutch, you had the French, you had the Spanish, heavily into the conquering of the known world. And they brought with them their culture, right? They brought with them their culture of revelry and debauchery. And of course, the slaves is going to have to serve in this culture. You understand? Because who gonna serve the wine? Who gonna make the food? Who gonna clean up? And who's going to just, lay there and take rod all night because that's what I lust for at that moment. You get me? That was the job of the slave around that time. You have it in, of course, the Caribbean islands. You have it in Brazil. You have it heavily in Louisiana, right? The Mardi Gras, right? That culminates into that Fat Tuesday or Big Tuesday. So now this is where let's go now a little bit more into the history of it as it pertains to the idol god and the idol worship. All right. Carnival means what? What does it actually mean?
Yes, so like yes, sir.
Come on, Maka.
I believe it means farewell to the flesh.
It means farewell to the flesh. All right. It means farewell to the flesh or farewell to meat. Right? There's really, it's farewell to the flesh, but you'll have two understandings of it, meaning you letting your flesh go. So that's why you're able to just do what answer your flesh for them days, because from Ash Wednesday until Easter, you have to keep your flesh under lock and key, right? And also farewell to meats, right? Farewell to meats, because of course the Europeans, they would go on what they call a fast, and they would abstain from certain meats. They would abstain from, your chicken, your beef, your eggs, all that type of stuff for that period of time. So leading up to that time is when they would devour it the most. You understand? Devour it the most, because what? Carnival Monday and Tuesday, or Bacchus Monday and Tuesday, or Fat Tuesday, or whatever time was before that Ash Wednesday, that beginning of that Lent period, it was you saying farewell to meat, or translated farewell to what?
So like I said,
Come on.
farewell to like my partner, or farewell to my body.
Farewell to your lust.
Lust. Oh,
yes, man. You see how evil the Christian is? A Christian would say, I can't sin for the next 40 days. 2 days? Oh, let's go. Let's go. No sleep. No sleep. Get the point? No sleep. We're going whole night, whole. That's why even the music, you see the carnival, how much people ever come, how much time do you hear people complain about why the carnival artists, why the soca stars don't make music year round? Why is the music so fast paced? Fast paced, keep it up, 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 keep it up. Brother, it's lust. It's to drive you into lust. Because, okay, right now on the radio is what playing on the radio?
Soca.
Soca. Pick up something. Everybody pick up something. And Mama lele. All playing on the radio, right?
Oh, good.
Ash Wednesday, what going to play?
So like I said,
go ahead.
Conscious music.
Ash Wednesday, they bring in the Luciano, they bring in the Kingston, they bring in the Anthony B, because it's a whole culture of lust, and then, oh shit.
Yeah.
What? Time to wash off and become clean now. Time to wash off and become clean. It's the way of the European. White man. Carnival is a white man's thing. That's not, first off, give me one law in the Bible that just shows it's not our culture.
So like I said, Jeremiah 10, we talk about learn not the ways of the heathen.
Learn not the ways of the heathen, Proverbs 3:31. That's not what I want, but that's good. Give me something. Come on.
Thou shalt not make your daughters to be whores. Like that.
You shall not make your daughters to be whores. Well, if somebody say they ain't having no sex, what he'll tell them?
Like I said, the spirit behind it, or the intent mentally definitely is on sex. Is on
so now a better precept would be take on not the appearance of evil.
Right.
You may not be a whore, but you're sure wearing a whole uniform. You sure dress like one. You sure go into a whole secondary high. Right? You sure doing evening shift at whole composite.
Good night.
Right? There's something else.
Like I said.
Come on.
Is it if sinners entice thee? Exodus 23:2.
Louder.
Oh, so like I said, is it if sinners entice thee, consent not in Exodus 23:2?
That's a good one against it, but that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Like yeah, sir. Amos 5:20.
I hate and despise your feast days. That's a good one. I'm gonna give it for time's sake. Uncovering one's nakedness.
Oh God, right.
Uncovering the nakedness is uncovering the shame. There's two contexts of it. Like someone's shame, like they're naked. They feel like but now there's something that you don't know about, so now they're naked to you. And also nakedness in terms of
so like I said,
in terms of sex.
Right.
That's what the law says you should not uncover your mother's nakedness, that type of thing.
Right.
Why? Because the Greeks and the Egyptians would do that. Have sex within the family and stuff like that. And Carnival is naked. Full on naked festival. The more naked, the better. When I was there, the costumes was cheap, was $700, $800, $900. The most expensive was $1,100, $1,200. Now it's what? How much for a costume now?
Now it's $5,000.
$5,000, and are they giving you a, you know, is this a 3-piece costume with, you know, shoes? Wait, so you ain't getting no shoes with it? You don't get your own shoes?
1.5 pieces. It's a lot.
So the price go up, but the clothes get
less smaller
because it's lust. You want more lust, and with lust, people will pay just like a drug addict. Crack could be $1 million. A crackhead is going to buy it.
Oh God, yeah.
He's going to get it back. You're not stopping him. He's going to sell everything and then his liver and lungs to get it. And it's an addiction. Carnival is an addiction because of the lust associated with it. It goes up because things getting more expensive. But nigga, you ain't giving nobody no clothes. The hell is getting more expensive, Glitter? Glitter is more expensive?
So like I said,
go ahead.
Come like the story with the king that had the new clothes walking around naked, but
everybody thinking is, you know,
yeah.
So now they with the as Rome's taking over and they're trying to move in on the pagan people, the common people, the territories around. Or the territories around, they are pushing their culture onto them. And of course, there's a period now they're going to not eat meats, right? Not eat meats for that 40 days. As they're marrying the two together, they started to teach that the 40 days was associated with what?
So like yourself.
Come on.
Christ's resurrection?
No, not his resurrection. Michael?
The death of Christ?
Not the death of Christ. What is the 40 days of Lent? What do Christians say the 40 days of Lent?
So like I said,
I
think that was the 40 days where they say he stayed on the earth and taught the disciples before he left.
Not taught. You all have to be real specific with this. You're gonna have to know your enemy if you're gonna beat him.
So like I said, they're associated with Christ going on the mount and fasting for 40 days, sir.
That's it. The fast for 40 days and 40 nights that Yahushua did. They say Christ fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, which Christ did to prepare himself to go and willfully be lynched. You understand? A man does hardly want to go answer a warrant that he might be innocent of. Imagine going to willfully be lynched. You're going to need some strength. Right? They say they fast them 40 days and 40 nights for Christ. So now, after they done do their revelry and honor Bacchus and, you know, get drunk and have sex with everything moving, they go and fast. They abstain from meat. Over time, they started saying they can eat fish, right? So somehow fish was, you know, not, fish was okay. Fish was damn near like a less desirable meat. Like if you have fish to eat, or the choice of, you know, a well done cooked barbecue, which one you taking? Most people would take the beef. It was a question of desirable, so now because the beef was more desirable, or those meats was more desirable, I have to fast from that. But I have less pleasure in this fish, so we can eat fish. You understand? It's just their way around this thing. So that's what they teach. The 40 days. Wednesday with the ashes on your forehead, make the sign of the cross, and you start your 40 days straight up until Easter. You eat fish and lentil peas every Friday up until Good Friday, right? Right? Even McDonald's, even KFC, even Royal Castle still around. All of them go and serve fish Ash Wednesday. Fish, everything, fish, all kind of different type of fish, straight up until Good Friday. All right, go ahead, Yukon.
Yeah, I know most Christians will do the Lent as a sense of, you know, self-inflicted punishment. You know, to try and
self-inflicted punishment, which is sick. as a Christian. You understand? As a Christian, self-inflicted punishment is always sexual. It's always for some kind of sexual gratification, because that's what all Christians know. You understand? And that's all Christians know. That's why in them nunneries and them monasteries, they beat themselves, they whip themselves, walk around without shoes, tie things to their rod. You get the point? It's S&M. It's that sadistic type behavior, right? That's why they beat kids. They beat the hell out of kids and then molest them, because it's a twisted sexual thing, right? So that's what they present to the world as Carnival, and of course the 40 days of Lent after will be Ash Wednesday. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we already went through how the Carnival is really another fertility festival, right? It's just another fertility festival, worshiping gods like Bacchus, worshiping Nimrod. There's another god that's this whole season called Tammuz. Right? Tammuz. Bacchus, the word bacchanal is famous in Trinidad. When all them tourist ads where they're talking about come to Trinidad and enjoy all the bacchanal and back of this. And David Rudder had a song where the whole song is a bacchanal this and a bacchanal. It's like you don't know it because you think he just saying a word, but it's conjuring up that God. It's the spirit of that God. You understand? Of that God. I remember seeing him perform live where he had the drums low. He doing a count on the bacchanal. Saying a bacchanal 1 and the drum goes bacchanal 2. And he counting up, and as he get closer to 10 is bacchanal and the whole crowd just erupt. And the song was Bacchanal what? Bacchanal woman. You understand? And you growing up thinking, yeah, that's we culture, that's we thing. That ain't our shit. Bacchus ain't from Trinidad. I know there's some people with the last name Bacchus.
Yes, sir.
Me personally with the last name Bacchus. That's his slave name. That's in your name. Right? But that's a Greek culture. And of course, they tell you Bacchus followers was wild women dancing energetically, which is, the whole attraction to Carnival. Some half naked, near slut, just who been in the gym for the last 3 months. So you know what's going on. And then, arrive at the mass camp at 3 in the morning with her Air Max and sweatpants because she had to go get naked. And then take to the street in glistening glitter and oil and just out there all day and night. And whoever there at the right time, brother, you get a piece of that deal. You're there at the right time, man. You're there when she just tired enough, her feet just hurting enough, and you have a Chris rental park right around the corner. Of course you're driving her to her hotel room. Why not? Why not? It's also a time when a lot of foreigners, when I say foreigners, them, Norwegians and Germans and, different people come down to places like Trinidad and Brazil. Why? Because now they are away from their land and they have a ton of money when they get to Trinidad and Brazil. They might have been ordinary people in Norway, but the exchange rate might be a few hundred. You know what that means? Pause every awaking second. You get the point? You come to the room, you do what you do, you knock out on the bed. As soon as you wake up, you ring the bell for the next one to walk in. And then what you do when you get back to Norway, man, Trinidad is fantastic. You gotta go. Brazil, man, you gotta go. And you thinking, they're there looking at the trees and the rivers and the damn, snakes and eating doubles. It's not fantastic because of that. You understand? Let me get this here now. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Right? Also, look up I'm gonna give you just now. Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Go ahead and read whoever has it.
From the first one, sir? First verse?
Yeah.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man, there is no remedy.
Right? A reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious. What does that mean?
Like I said.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess the beginning of the verse showing the mindset the ungodly carry, right? Showing you that they try to achieve all that they can achieve now, because after that they don't view anything. They don't believe that there's anything.
That's it. You understand? And they view life as just, you know, long and tedious.
Come on.
And it's nothing.
Come on.
And in the death of a man is no remedy, meaning if you have a horrible life, when you die, that's it. And that's where you get your YOLO. You know, you only live once, and you want life to live. You remember that? So you remember them songs and brothers who sing YOLO? YOLO.
Oh, God, yep.
Right? That's where it comes from. Keep going.
Right. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. Verse 2.
Right? What is that saying?
Like I said,
go ahead.
They don't believe in people coming back from the dead or reincarnation.
They don't believe in reincarnation. They believe this life is it, which is every Christian. A Christian believe in Christ but do not believe in reincarnation, which is retarded. It's like you believe in the sky but you don't believe in the color blue. You understand? It's retarded. And that's what the white man thinks. The white man is like, ain't nobody coming back from it. So, life. Let me live it up now. Live it up. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart.
For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a spark is just a heart. Meaning our life is nothing. It's fleeting. It's going right now. You like to a white man or to a heathen or to an Israelite who is fully in this white man's world. What you doing right now is wasting time. You sitting down here, looking at a computer screen, talking to some nigga on the miles away from you about a book that's old, that quote unquote man write. When what you could be doing right now if you was in Trinidad.
Slack yourself.
Come on, you can.
Getting some tea.
You could be somewhere stretching out. Somewhere, you know, shit. Listen, I already know there's brothers in Trinidad right now who've had enough of Trinidad and want more, so they're in Brazil tonight. In Brazil tonight because Trinidad is just too tame. The woman's still wearing the bikini top. They want to go where the breast is fully out. Fully out, and it's, you know, we need more. We need more. You get me? Keep going.
Verse 3. Which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
Right? That's what the white man thinks. That's why he operates the way he does. So animalistic. That's why heathens operate the way they do. That's why East Indian would kill the grandmother for land. Yeah, because they have to get it now. Ain't no life after. Even though they say they believe in reincarnation, why they doing all that evil if they know they're gonna come back? You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud.
Go ahead.
and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun.
Right. What is the big deal if nobody don't remember your name? Why are you so special? You get the point? But the white man, that's how he thinks. Heathens, that's how they think. Understand? And that's why they operate the way they are. It's like, ain't nobody gonna remember me. Ain't nobody gonna listen. My life will be done. So you know what that means? Just like in the spirit of Carnival. After Tuesday, I can't do nothing. Shit, when Ash Wednesday gonna come around and we're gonna be back to what? Reggae. You listen, you have people who just so hooked on the whole atmosphere of hype all the time, hype. That if conscious music come around, or the slower soca or the slower calypso come around, it's like, man, I don't want to hear that. You get the point? Knowing that time is coming, just like death, guess what they're going to do now? All right? Skip me down to 6.
Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present.
Come on now, Poison Posse, Legends Crew. Give me some other names. Well, who else they have?
Tribe.
I how could forget Tribe. Ooh, boy, take me back there. Tribe, take me back there. Tribe, when Tribe started, Tribe was a younger band, brother, and that with youth comes, flesh, right?
That was good.
Right? They say, come on now. And let us do what? Let us enjoy the good things that are present, meaning the good things that are here now, right in front of us.
Right.
You go into class? For what, nigga? Carnival Sunday is, every party that leading into Juve.
All
the all-inclusive, brother. Listen, I was all-inclusive daddy down there, brother. Salaki. You couldn't get me to go nothing else. It was Panorama, and when I was there, it was $200 and $300 for all-inclusive. $400, I think, was the most I ever paid. Brother, I was all-inclusive king. King, but I'm collecting them fluorescent wristbands. We have been to all-inclusive. Don't tell me shit. I'm coming to work. I want to work on platform 9. What's the platform with the water injection plant?
Yes, sir. Platform on the whip.
On the whip. I want to work on the whip so I could go sleep on the big oil pipe, because tonight is another party.
Okay.
The boat drop me off on the platform. I go in somewhere in the corner. I turn the radio off, and I'm out. Them charts will change themselves. The oil will take care of itself. But tonight is another party, brother. What do you want me to do? You want me to work? Carnival? You must be crazy. Let us enjoy the things that are good and present right now. Keep going.
Good. And let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Right, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. What does that mean?
So I can say.
Go ahead.
Great.
Go ahead.
Yes. You got.
Who are the Hannah? I ain't see Salaki. Somebody answer. What the hell do y'all want? Y'all
Yes, sir. It means you'll get on as when you were young.
Meaning what?
Meaning whilst you were young, you'll be agile with the revelry. You would run down sex. You would run down the party and the lineman.
Listen, Sparrow was no young boy when he sang both of them. When Sparrow sang both of them, he was no young boy. You feel Rowley them ain't doing nothing? I just see a picture of Pandey whining and stuff. You think you ought to be young to revel? Blood flowing out. It's time to go. You know what I mean? You're right in the young, but it's something else. Read that last part again, whoever.
Good. And let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. What are the creatures?
Yes, sir, like I said.
Go ahead, Macaw.
I'm not sure if this referring to how, like, you know, how the heathens and including the white man to like the hunt and all kind of thing, just kill out everything without a reason.
You want it. That's definitely the spirit of it. Like he ain't eating the elephant. He's not eating that elephant. You understand? I seen a video with some white man from Milwaukee take, I think it's 10,000, take a few thousand US and went down to Pakistan. And is Pakistan? I think it's Pakistan. It's an Arab country. And paid them Arabs to go up in the hills and hunt some rare goat. I mean, brother, if you see the size of this goddamn goat, with, I mean, huge horns. This goat probably big like a table. Huge. And then he's like, you know, I'll be one to pioneer the tourism between America and this Middle Eastern country. This place is beautiful. Brother, when the camera pan is all in the mountains, I was like, well, this is E.S.U.P. To him, the clefts of the rock is beautiful. Yeah, you ain't traveling to no place to see no goddamn stone. You could go outside and watch a goddamn stone. You understand? But he went there so he could hunt. And at night, go get some opium that them Arabs have and ask the boys and them. This one here, in that same spirit of hunting and killing for no reason, is the same way, the same lust. Let us use up the creatures. I like that in our youth. Go ahead.
So like you say, talking about men, old men chasing young women.
Not just old. Not just old and not just men. Not just men. Listen, right now, there's some big whale coming off one of them cruise ships that's going to have sex with some young brother in Port of Spain now.
Okay.
For money. Like she done flew her plane to St. Lucia and got on a cruise ship that comes to Trinidad for Carnival for 5 days. And this broad is, you know, she's nigh unto Willie. You damn me how to go on the water and do this here, and she'll jump over. And she's going to come off that cruise ship and try to grind up and seduce some young brother. And he, for poverty's sake, will take that envelope she has in her purse and go have sex with her. And brother, his life is rough. Life is rough. You understand? But nobody don't care about that brother or that sister who do that. Right? But Marshall and Bungie and what's his name? What's the next man's name? Family. I forget the next nigga name.
Skinny Fabulous.
Skinny Fabulous. I'm listening to the lyrics of their song, and the song says, I don't see color, I don't see race. All I see is power. Nigga, I don't see no goddamn power. Not where I'm sitting. All I do is color, and all I do see is race. That's an evil song. That's the only family he's singing about is white people. He's singing that for them. Not for us. And listen, Bungie is such a shameful nigga right now. And listen, I was a huge Bungie fan before, brother. But that nigga done he done gone all the way left right now. There was a time he would sing songs about poor people. Struggle, about the politicians. There was a time you cannot listen. Bungie said he would never enter a road march. He said he don't care about road march because that's not really what the culture is about. Yeah. What he doing now? There was a time you couldn't see him naked in a band. He half naked now. You get me? Like where's the voice? Like that's what drove him to popularity, because he came in a time of the effeminism, the whole wine and jam thing, which is for a man, that's really kind of effeminate. You know what I mean? And he came in with a certain amount of masculinity and represented men manfully in the carnival. That's what made him rise. It made him rise because that was missing from the atmosphere, that element of masculinity, like, you know, me and my crew, we from the ghetto and we gonna do this and we gonna do that and we have integrity. He even had a song how he preferred ghetto girls. You can remember that? He said, you know, high class so and so. I love my ghetto girls. They head hard, the this, the that, but there's the, you know what I mean? You get the point. Like, it was a voice for the people, but now the spirits are Carnival.
So like I said,
come on.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. You get the point? It's going to turn you one way or the other. And right now, there's nobody giving a voice for people. There's nobody in the Carnival. Is anybody singing about anything? Is any song about the Venezuelan crisis? Is any song about, you know, recent selling of petrol, oil? Even, you remember when they had the bombs blowing up? Bungie had a song called the Bomb Song. Is anybody singing about anything relevant to the cultural or the climate in Trinidad right now? Any song about Ghana? Any song about Beatham? Any song about sea lots? Anything? No, it's gone. Because this is a time that we cannot have a conscience. We must be totally conscienceless so we can fulfill our life. Alright? What do you have there? A mosquito on the ground?
No, sorry.
I see everybody look down. I was like, that had to be a big mosquito.
A glass fence.
Don't listen, that gonna happen. Don't worry about it. We was on slave ships. Don't worry about it now. Well, worse on the slave ship. Keep reading.
All right. Verse 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Right? Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. That's your all-inclusive. You pay a certain cover fee and you go in there and you drink anything liquid. Anything. They could put salt water in a bottle of rum, you're drinking it. You understand? Let's fill ourselves with it. And let us not let any flower go by. Meaning what? Imagine just walking through a field and picking every flower just to smell it. Instead of getting down and smelling the flower, because you can, pick another one. Throw it away. Until you picked all in the whole field. And then what do you do? Come on. Then raise your hand. Raise your hand. Don't say Salaka. I'm going to see the hands. Who up? Who's that? You can't put hands up. Come on. Go ahead.
You're going to look for another field, sir.
You're going to look for the nearest field to go pick more. You understand? America done picked the Middle East, right? Where's the nearest field now? Go by
Venezuela.
Venezuela is the nearest field, huh? You understand? It's the nearest field, and they're going to do it, regardless of whatever. But meanwhile, we jump in with we family. You understand? That not helping nobody. That not stopping crime. That ain't putting an end to poverty. That ain't bringing employment to nobody. Right? Keep going.
Verse 8. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered.
Right? Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Picking all the roses and just, you know, bathing in the feathers. Keep going.
Verse 9.
Go ahead.
Let none of us go without his part or our voluptuousness.
Carnival. Anybody want to go and join our band? Jumping up in our band, in an iron band with a woman? Y'all sure? Listen, y'all go on. Go ahead. Take a wine for me. Hell. You understand? Let none of us go with our part in his voluptuousness. Right? In his voluptuousness, in his in his desire, in his lust, you understand, for, you know, a lot. Like a voluptuous woman is a woman with a ton of breast. Get me? And she's huge breast because why? Because the breast represents what? Fertility again. Right? The breast represents fertility. You get the point? Let none of us go without our part in that. Meaning what? I can have this one, and that one, and that one. You want that one? Nah, I want that one. Well, listen, rock, paper, scissors. All right, you take that one. I'll take them two. You get the point? Which is I mean? This is what you call Epicureanism, right? Epicureanism. It's a philosophy where you feel life is about pleasures. Damn near like hedonist, not heathen, not with the TH, but hedon with the D, Hedon. Epicureanism is like one life to live, and you must sample everything. You must, you know, just go. Them CNN men who travel, Anthony Bourdain and the other short fat one with the bald head. That's not life. Epicureanism. You understand? Where you free and you could do whatever. And now the opposite of Epicureanism is what? It's a word called Stoicism. Like stoic, the word stoic means to be extremely strict and disciplined.
Right.
So now it's two extremes, and that's what usually happens in a society. You have the Epicureanist, who is all in for Carnival. Then you have the Stoics, who would be the ones, evil, Holy Mary, Mother of God, evil, and be so stoic, it's unnatural.
Right.
You get me? It's just unnatural because it doesn't have the spirit of the Lord.
Right.
You get me?
It
existed throughout the white man's history. You had his section of society that was heavily into pleasure, and then his section of society that was against all things pleasurable. So that what? If you want to be godly and you're a woman, you can't have no rod, which is hell for a woman. If you want to be godly and a man, you can't have no woman, which is hell for a man, but you can have boys. You understand? So now, boom. So that's a little understanding of the whole culture. Now let's fast forward. Give me what it is I asked you to look up. Tammuz? Anybody looked it up quickly? We have about 15 more minutes.
Finish the verse, sir, by the time?
Say again?
Finish the verse again, sir?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 9. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place.
What does that say?
What
does that say? Let us leave tokens of our what?
Of our joyfulness in every place.
Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. Good night.
Carnival babies.
Carnival babies. Carnival babies is that's the finale of it. That's the final straw of it. But it's the whole thing of just, you ever go in a bathroom and you see, Sam was here. Imagine doing that on everything, on everyone, on every drink, on every person. That's the white man. You understand? That's the white man. Lil Wayne had a song saying, "I wish I could have sex with every girl in the world." If you ever hear it. You know what I mean? It's that spirit, and that's what's going on in the country right now. That's the heritage. You have 2 more days of that extreme, wanton lust, and then it's time to honor Tammuz. All right, time to honor Tammuz. What do you have for Tammuz so far?
Tammuz,
go ahead quickly.
Tammuz, a fertility god, widely worshipped in Mesopotamia, Syria, and Palestine, equivalent to Osiris, in Egypt and Adonis of the Greeks.
Right. Any more?
His consort was the goddess Ishtar, Astarte or Ashtoreth. The only mention of him in the Bible occurs in connection with the custom of women mourning for him.
Right. Women. Go ahead.
Which being observed at every gate of the temple of the true God, seemed to the prophet one of the most abominable idolatries.
All right. Tammuz is as far back as Nimrod. Tammuz is the baby of Nimrod and Semiramis. But they believe that Tammuz was Nimrod back in the earth again.
I'm good.
You understand?
I'm good.
They believe that Nimrod that Nimrod was back in the earth again as Tammuz. And of course Tammuz they in their belief, Tammuz consort or his woman was Ishtar, or who? Who is Ishtar?
So I guess
come on.
Wasn't that Semiramis' mother? Is it Tammuz or Nimrod?
Who is Ishtar?
Ishtar. Astarte or Ishtar?
Yeah, your Bible dictionary?
God.
Salakia said not the woman with the set of breasts. Our 8 or 9 breasts.
I know you're going to remember, Shah. I know Shah going to remember that. Shah is like, whoa, titties. Titties with a D. Titties. All right, give me it quickly. Who have it? Come on, quickly.
Yeah, Ishtar. Yeah, Can. Ishtar, a Semitic goddess worshipped in Phoenicia, Canaan, Assyria, and Babylonia. Her name is spelled in various ways: Ashtoreth, Ashte, Astatu, in the Miran letters, Ishtar in Babylonia, etc. The name and the cult of the goddess were derived from Babylonia, where she was the goddess of love and war. Prostitution was practiced in her name by bands of men and women.
Yes, that's why you get in Deuteronomy 23 it said there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel or sodomites of the son. Right? When you look up the Hebrew word for sodomite in that scripture, the Hebrew word is kodash, which means what? What does kodash mean in Hebrew?
Holy.
Why is it whole? Why is okay in the Hebrew you would read there would be no whores of the daughters of Israel, or no holy ones of the sons of Israel, or holy ones of the daughters. Just think about how we talk.
Right.
What does that mean? Because at this time, your whole house was not Villa Capri.
Right.
Your whole house was the church.
Right.
Right? Because in the worship of Astarte, you had prostitution as part of their culture.
Right.
So now as you going in there to get your readings or to pay homage or whatever, you would have something called temple prostitutes. Which would be of both men and women that you would have sex with.
Okay.
Right? And today you have your little acolytes in the church. That's why all them sex molestation cases is what? Little children in the service of the church. That's what it is. And that's why there's a law to be no whore or sodomite of the sons of Israel, because that's where it started. It started with that. And today you go in the strip club. Why are you stripping? well, I grew up in a broken home. What religion was you? Christian. Why you a sodomite? I was molested. Where? In the church. But that's where it starts. So, Tammuz, his woman was Ishtar, right? Goddess of fertility. Tammuz was believed to be Nimrod back in the earth again. Story is that Tammuz was he died when he was, how old does it say he was when he died? All right, let me send this article to somebody who somebody could read it. Anybody seen it? How old they say he was?
Last check it.
No sweat. I'm gonna give you it for time's sake. Gotta wanna see the article you sent me with what Russia says they're gonna do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get that 1 more week or 2 more weeks to come back to Venezuela, but you know the heat is on right now.
Okay.
I mean the heat is on. I just sent you all the articles. Whoever have it, just pull it up and you can start to read it. Tammuz was 40 years old.
Oh God! All right.
He was 40 years old and he was killed by. Anybody seen it?
Not yet, sir. I'm reading the article. Wait, how far down, sir?
Definitely want to go past the half mark.
All right.
Okay, but what I want from this article is not that.
Tammuz, right.
Right? I want something else from this article. All right. Go down to. Okay, let me bring you up to speed just for time's sake, right?
Yeah.
Tammuz was they say Tammuz was 40 years old
right.
when he died, and he was ran through by a wild boar, by a pig. Right? That's what they say happened to him. If you know anything about pigs, pigs could bite your whole hand off. A domestic pig. A wild pig is very big. Some of them have the tusk.
Right.
The tusk like them Lion King, like Hakuna Matata. Old pigs, them big pigs catch you in the wild, brother. They'll rend you. You understand? They will tear you, you know, bit from bit. It said Tammuz was ran through by a wild boar and he died, right?
Oh, good.
So now go down in the article to Semiramis, who became known as Ishtar, right there.
Oh, God. According to his historical information, Nimrod became a god-man to the people, and Semiramis, his wife and mother, became the...
Hold on.
All right.
No, skip down some more.
Oh, God.
Skip down 3 verses.
Right. Queen Semiramis, from there?
The one on top of that.
God. Semiramis had all of the parts gathered, except
right,
for one part.
You know, of course, when Nimrod was killed, they cut his body up, right? They cut his body into a ton of pieces. Semiramis, who was his mother and his wife, went and gathered all his pieces. Go ahead.
Except for one part that could not be found. That missing part was his reproductive organ. Semiramis claimed that Nimrod could not come back to life without it, and told the people of Babylon that Nimrod had ascended to the sun and was now to be called Baal, the sun god.
Right? So Baal is also Nimrod, the sun god. So of course, worshiping on what Sunday is worshiping Baal or Nimrod.
Oh, God.
All right, go ahead.
Queen Semiramis also proclaimed that Baal would be present on earth in the form of a flame.
Skip down 2 more paragraphs.
God. Semiramis became,
don't worry about it.
God, became known as Ishtar, which is pronounced Easter, and her moon egg became known as Ishtar's egg. Ishtar soon became pregnant and claimed that it was the rays of the sun god Baal, that caused her to conceive. The son that she brought forth was named Tammuz.
All right. So you see how these heathens is hoes, right? This bitch don't got no man, become pregnant and said the son did it.
Oh God.
These heathens is hoes. She done laid with somebody, and somebody break it off, just like Sheba. Sheba went back to David broke off, not David, Solomon broke off, which is a lie. The Israelite kept his son. You get me?
Right.
His son get and was named Tammuz, right?
Oh God.
Also, Ishtar is the story is that Ishtar, when she died, they said she was resurrected from a pearl that was in a clam, right? That she was resurrected from a pearl that was in a clam. She had to come out and show her power to prove that she was powerful, and she changed a bird into a rabbit. And of course, birds lay eggs. So now this bird that changes into a rabbit, the rabbit laying eggs, the eggs were colorful. That's where the whole practice of the Easter eggs come from. Now, all this I'm telling you is not true, but this is what those Chaldeans, the Sumerians, that's what they believe. And it was passed down because Babylon, which, that was a powerful empire from those people, ruled the earth. You get me? All right. Skip me down. Ishtar, who was now worshipped, right there.
God. Ishtar, who was now worshipped as the mother of God and queen of heaven.
So, of course, Ishtar worshipped as the mother of God. What does that sound like today? Maka?
Yes, Salakia, sorry, Salakia, Pastor.
Was it you who said Salakia?
Yeah, Carnival.
Come on, man, say it, man. You're right. I could read in your brain now.
I'm trying to go on slips to Salakia. Sorry,
but put it back on track, hell. Don't slip.
You can just repeat it again, please, sir.
Read it one more time again.
Ishtar, who was now worshipped as the mother of God and queen of heaven.
Who is that today? Maka.
The Christian Church of Mary, sir.
That's man. I told you I was right. You think I can't see in your brain? I'm listening. All right. Y'all gonna see spiritual power. Don't worry, but I could see it. Right. That's Mary. That's where you get Holy Mary, Mother of God. Pray for us sinners. That's where it comes from. Hail Holy Mary, Mother of God, because this is the whole this whole custom of the Babylonians repackaged into Christianity. All right. Go ahead. I'll keep reading quickly.
Continuing to build her mystery religion, the queen told the worshippers that when Tammuz was killed by the wild pig, some of his blood fell on the stump of an evergreen tree, and the stump grew into a full new tree overnight. This made the evergreen tree sacred by the blood of Tammuz.
Right, which is another story she created for Tammuz. This Semiramis was a hustling bitch. Excuse me, she tell them one story for Nimrod, make up a whole new story for Tammuz, how she get pregnant, and then listen, if you ask me, she killed Nimrod and she killed Tammuz. Hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you ask me, this bitch doing all the goddamn killing. You know what I mean? Just a sidebar. You all ever see the movie Candyman? Listen, there's a movie Listen, I'm gonna do a review on that movie. There's a movie Candyman about this. Supposed to be the slave who was having sex with this slave master's daughter, but he was a free man. He used to paint. They caught him, cut his hand off, put a hook in his hand, and then they put honey all over him and make bees eat him and sting him to death in front of the slave girl, in front of the white girl. So now, fast forward to modern times, if you stand in front of the mirror and you say Candyman 5 times, he'll appear behind you and kill you. So the other day, I saw the movie when I was a young boy. The other day, I watched the movie myself, and this white girl who's the star of the movie, she's the one, chasing the myth of Candyman. And brother, everywhere she go, somebody end up dying. It's showing you through her eyes that, you know, Candyman appearing and cutting people in half. And I'm like, man, nobody ain't gonna arrest this bitch for murder. Like, he's the only one in the room and people fucking dying. But still, they make a horror movie and the villain is a black man. He's a racist. You understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, keep reading.
Good. She also proclaimed a 40-day period of time of sorrow each year prior to the anniversary of the death of Tammuz. During this time, no meat was to be eaten.
Now we getting it. The 40-day period was in line with the 40 years Tammuz was alive, because he died at 40 years old. The 40-day Lent period of fasting, it comes from the worship of Tammuz. Keep reading.
God. During this time, no meat was to be eaten. Worshippers were to meditate upon the sacred mysteries of Baal and Tammuz.
Right? So during this time, they were supposed to meditate upon the sacred mysteries of who? Nimrod, Baal, and Tammuz. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Understand? They were supposed to focus on the Father and the Son. Go ahead.
God. And to make the sign of the T.
Say it again.
And to make the sign of the T.
Oh boy. Right. Okay. So now the article has T, but okay, that symbol is called Tau. Right. It's called Tau. Okay. Somebody pull up on the phone what Tau is. You type in Tau or type in Tammuz sign or Tau sign. Right. All right, let me get it for you. I'm gonna pull it up here for you, just to save you all the Let me know if you can see this, all right? Right. Y'all can see it?
All right, go.
Okay. Okay, now it tells you during that time they would make the sign of the T. Where? Read.
Look here. And to make the sign of the T in front of their hearts as they worshiped.
Go ahead.
They also ate sacred cakes with the marking of a T or cross on the top.
No shit. No shit.
Oh, good.
You see the screen? Okay, the cross is an old symbol from Babylon. Anything cross. So you see how many crosses come out of Babylon? The swastika, the ankh, the so-called the Catholic cross. It's all from the worship of Tammuz. You understand? And they also had a custom of making hot cross buns. That shouldn't have nothing to do with Christianity.
Good.
You understand? So now, after everybody go hold itself out tonight, on Ash Wednesday, you are going to worship Tammuz. Because your whole the past 3 months of your life is a religious celebration of sex, drunkenness, adultery, in some cases murder. Somebody gonna die in the next 3 days over having sex with somebody's wife. You understand? Or two homosexuals gonna stab each other because one homo man be homo have another homo man. You know, homos are violent. And then on Wednesday, they're going to get their ashes some way, somehow or the other. And then they're going to fast for 40 days in honor of Tammuz, who is really Baal. You understand? Like you into Carnival. And the funny thing about it is most people who into the Carnival, they say they're not religious. Right? They'll tell you, nah, nothing to all that church thing. Church robbing you of your fun. Church robbing you of all the fun. But not knowing you are having church in Carnival.
Yep.
Worshiping Bacchanal, you worshiping Bacchus, you worshiping Tammuz. You're in the whole thing of fertility with Lupercalia. Valentine's Day was just the other day with unlawful sex. Like we absolutely lost beyond compare, and like, it looked like there's no repair for us. Somebody had something? Somebody say Salakia?
Awesome.
All right, let me get Ezekiel 8 and 14 real quick, and I'm gonna be the last one. Right? Tammuz was him and Adonis is basically the same person. Adonis was a Greek mythological figure. That woman loved a whole lot. They would fight over him. Right? They would fight over him. They say he was so pretty and so handsome that women would love him and fight over him, which is that the male element in Carnival is not a masculine element. Right? That male element in Carnival is what? Clean shaven. The Greek body, you have to, you know. You gotta flex up. You gotta wear them little speedos with a nice shoes. And then be half naked in the street gyrating. Because you are, you know, in the spirit of Adonis. You in the spirit of that, you know, being that man that wants to be worshipped so hard. You get me? Give me 14 real quick.
Book of Ezekiel chapter 8 verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Say it again.
Then he brought me.
Now from behold.
Sorry, behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
There sat women weeping for Tammuz. You understand? This is in the temple. You understand? You see how far back we worshiping Ash Wednesday and Tammuz? Go ahead on quickly.
Verse 15. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abomination than these.
Right? Just like every Christian church. You think these molestations is all that's going on in there? You think this stealing of the money? Look deeper. Look deeper and see what you see. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs towards the temple of the Lord.
Right? Why is it 25 men? Who knows?
Like, yes, sir.
Come on.
Not too sure if I have it right, but I'll try, right? Is it representing like the 25 days like in December in like the worshiper? Like I don't know if it tying into something with Nimrod.
Tie it in. You've been tying shit in all day, right? All them cross beams. It's only tying beams all day.
And I'm good.
Tying beams all day. You come to class and you can't tie 2 precepts together. I better go learn from the beams then.
Yes, sir. I'm sure. I don't know what it's called, but I know it's.
How do the 25 days tie into Nimrod?
Is it
because
Nimrod is the same thing or the same time?
December
25th. Right. Oh, it's not shit. It's like
oh shit. Yeah, oh shit.
I forget. We'll get over it's like
We're trying to take over the world, you know. You can't afford to switch your brain off in them.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead, you know. Listen, didn't I warn you all?
Right.
Did everybody remember I warned every man? I told you all you don't have to do this.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Don't come down and think I'm gonna be, you know, easy. We go until 1 o'clock. Shit.
There you go.
I told you it's going to get like it. Don't be like, oh shit. Right? 25 men for Nimrod. Right? Go ahead.
With their backs toward the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east, And they worship the sun.
And they worship what?
And they worship the sun towards the east.
What?
The sun towards the east.
The sun. You understand? They worship the sun because it's all in the worship of Nimrod, the worship of Tammuz, who is the sun, who is the sun god. Listen, you are Egyptologists. You worshiping Tammuz. You worshiping Horus or Isis. That Ankh is worshiping Tammuz.
No,
you want to get scientific and talk about the womb and the shaft? No, nigga, it's just Tammuz. Because there's his sign. The T is his sign. I mean, now you could attribute anything to whichever side of the cross it is to help you sleep better, but you're worshiping Tammuz. That's where your Ash Wednesday comes from, and it's the climax of lust and sex and nothing else. Nothing else, and that's all it is. And it's not our culture. Sad to say. And okay, you tell somebody about it now, they'll want to fight you. You know why? Because the addiction is so strong. It's like trying to get a drug addict off of drugs. You understand? Or alcoholic away from alcohol. You get that? It's an addiction. If you ever meet somebody who's not from Trinidad who wants to go to Carnival for the first time, ask them about it after that first time. They say, I'm coming back. I gotta come back every year. Every year, because it is an addiction because of the lust involved. It's lustful. It's a lustful thing, and the Lord is going to destroy it. That's what the Lord is going to destroy it, because guess what? Poor people still poor. Not cared about with all the family bungee them talking about. Nobody don't give a damn about poor people. Get the point? Nobody. All right. With that, we pass the class over to priest and officer. Who have it today? Matt Clear?
I'm good.
All right, go ahead. Let's get the announcement out here. Let's stop. Announcements real quick on.
Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get the permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You will find this in Numbers 18:21 and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, which is the Passover on the 20th of April 2019. Remind Akium and Aquatium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf.
All right, let's do the salute out, all right, Akim? Quickly.
Akim will give you teacher one courtesy salute. I'm Adam Shabbat. I'm Aliam. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Thumb.
Yadad Matzah. Class dismissed.